GS, 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 GS. You, you. I thought you knew. Let's go. Grambling. Yes. Yes. Y'all know I'm unofficially a part of the Gram fam. Y'all know this already. And Grambling, they're starting to heat up right at the right time, right when it's leading into National Signing Day or early signing day for the Grambling State Tigers. Let's talk about Grambling's big time win after the bumper, Mr. Maurice Washington. My people, what is up, my people? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Now, y'all know I love me some Gram fam. Y'all know I am a Grambling fan. I support the Grambling State Tigers. I have made no, that's the one thing I try to be is 100% transparent. And one thing I am very much transparent on is that I am rooting for the rise of Grambling. For Grambling to come back to prominence and challenge Jackson State, FAMU, or whoever else for the SWAC title each and every single year. Like, be competitive in challenging those premier schools or schools more premier than Grambling. And so watching them early in the season, it was rough, right? Like, they were getting busted by a lot of teams. And they were just trying to figure out the quarterback. They're playing 2, 3, maybe 4 quarterbacks at different times. And it was rough to watch. It was kind of a stinker. But now, over the last 4 games, I will say, dating back to the Alabama A&M game, Grambling is starting to find their footing. They're rocking with the true freshman, Julian Calvez, the rest of the year, and it has proven dividend. Now, granted, his stats aren't the best, right? His stats aren't going to be spectacular right now. They're still trying to figure out everything. But boy, oh boy, first of all, that young man, number 28, Maurice Washington, might be the best running back in the SWAC. And you heard me say it. He's the best home run hitter in the entire SWAC. And I'm talking about all of this because Grambling got a stellar victory, 36-10 over UAPB. It was their homecoming. It was senior day. All the guys got to show out. And even though it was senior day, wasn't many seniors to honor because there are 42 freshmen on this roster. 20 or so, roughly, they get significant playing time on special teams, offense, defense, all that different kind of stuff. So you're playing 20 some odd freshmen. You have over 30, 40 freshmen on the roster. And those are just the freshmen and or newcomers. And you have a bunch of newcomers, including the guy who may be the best running back in the entire SWAC, Maurice Washington, who had over 200 yards, get this, on 10 carries. 10 carries. 10 carries. And so let me go ahead and show you this schedule and show you so you know what I'm talking about and why I'm excited about the future of the Grambling State Tigers program under Coach Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson had a lot of detractors because of his success or lack of success in the NFL coaching the Cleveland Browns. I think he went 1-30 something. I don't know. It was bad. It wasn't good. But since he's been at Grambling, they started off rough. But since October 8th, they had a double overtime loss to Alabama and A&M on the road, which they should have won. If you watch the game, they should have won that game. Stupid penalties, bad play at the end. They lost the game. Cool. They played a very, very competitive game against probably the second best team in the entire conference, and that is Florida A&M. 20-16. One, they only gave up 20 points to a Florida A&M team that can score a bunch of points. They just hung 30 on Southern. But a FAMU team that can really get after it, and they came in a close loss. Now, no moral victories, but when you're playing over 20 freshmen, you have over 40 new players on a roster going toe-to-toe late in the season, October 15th, against the second best team in the conference, easily the second best team in the conference. You can walk away feeling good about that, right? Like, you can walk away, hang your hat and say, hey, we got a damn good team. We maybe not a great team, but we got a team that can compete. We got a team that is better than our record shows. And then they went out, they had their bye week and went out and showed it in the last 2 weeks. 35-6 dominant victory over Alcorn and 36-10 dominant victory over Pine Bluff, both in 2 different styles. One still leaning heavily in both games on the running game and the defense. The defense was able to score in both of these games. The defense came up, made plays in both of these games. The defense is really starting to gel and grow together over the last 4 weeks, but specifically in the last 2 weeks. And we're seeing that running game churn up and up and up. And honestly, they just need to give the freaking ball more to Maurice Washington. I haven't had the chance to ask Coach, because the next time, if Maurice, because they play Texas Southern this week, they play Texas Southern this upcoming week in Houston. So it's a road game against a team that, is not feeling good after losing to Jackson State at home. So they're coming back looking to bounce back against Grambling, against a team that's supposed to be inferior to them. Texas Southern's supposed to be better than Grambling. And I need to ask, if Maurice goes off again, if Maurice, who was averaging, y'all, do y'all realize, y'all may or may not realize, if you're a Grambling fan, you may realize this. Maurice Washington is averaging 11 yards per carry on the season. The man's averaging 11 yards per carry on the season. Why in the hell is he not getting the ball? He's only toted the rock like 50 times this year. In all the games, they played, 9 games? He's only toted the rock 50 times the entire year. Roughly 50 times, and he's averaging 11 yards per carry. If Maurice Washington doesn't get 20 carries, at least 20 carries each in the next 2 games to end the year, both Texas Southern and then in the Bayou Classic, something like we got to question Coach Hugh on that. Like, is it that he gets tired? Is it that his stamina's not there? He hadn't played ball in a while, leading up into this year, but we're 9 games into the season now. You have a thoroughbred in your backfield. You have a nuclear weapon in your backfield, a guy that can, and that's the difference that separates Maurice from the other backs in the SWAC. The guys like Savion Wilkerson, who's my favorite player in the SWAC, and Caleb Johnson and some of the other guys, is that Maurice is a home run hitter. Like Maurice, you blink your eye, he's gone. 75 yards. That's how he gets 10 carries, 200 yards. Nobody else in the SWAC can do that. I've yet to see another player in the SWAC that can take a 10 carry game, average 20 yards per carry, and get 200 yards. We saw Savion Wilkerson get 200 yards, and he did it really well. 8 yards a carry. Amazing. That is ridiculous. Maurice did it averaging 20 yards per carry. It's over double what Savion did for JSU. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm puzzled why they don't give him the ball more. He is that special. He's that special of a talent. And he's been like that for a while. He hit a 75-yarder on Jackson State. He was a Under Armour All-American. Coach Prime knew who he was because he's like, I coached him at the UA game, All-Star game, and he was spectacular then. And then he's still a spectacular player. But I'm saying all this to say, we knew this was the foundation laying season for Grambling. If you knew, when you bring in 40 new players to a football team and you're playing 20 or more freshmen, significant playing time on all 3 phases of the football, offense, defense, special teams, it's going to take some time. I don't care who you are. You're not a miracle worker. The difference between, obviously, Hugh Jackson ain't Prime, but Prime brought in a lot of transfers, and Hugh Jackson did too. But Prime doesn't play that many freshmen. Look at Jackson State's team right now. Who are the freshmen that play? Kevin Coleman gets some burn. Travis gets some burn. It's about it. Everybody else is transfers. Everybody else are 2nd or 3rd year players, either their 2nd year at JSU or their 2nd or 3rd year coming from another program. Well, it's Aubrey Miller. He played at Missouri. The entire offensive line is all transfers. Shador is in his 2nd year at JSU. And even the guys, there was a couple of freshmen that played last year, but they don't even play this year. But some of them, like Trevontae Rucker and Cameron Sylvan Craig is a 2nd year guy. He played as a freshman, and so did Shador, obviously. But most of these guys are transfers. Savion Wilkerson, et cetera, et cetera. So Hugh is taking a different approach, playing a lot of freshmen straight out of high school. And they're getting overmatched in a lot of these areas because of that. But it is valuable experience for these guys. That way they'll be that much better next season, and or you use that in your recruiting pitch. Hey, we're not afraid to play you, whether you're a freshman, a JUCO, a Power 5 transfer, FBS transfer, whatever. We're going to play the best guy. And that means if you're a freshman, you feel confident that if you decide to go to Grambling, you're going to get an equal opportunity to play. Whether you come in mid-year, early enrollee, spring, or the summer. Julian Calvez, he didn't enroll early at Grambling. He enrolled during the summer, and it is going to finish, knock on wood, he's going to finish this season as the starting quarterback. That is enticing to a recruit. That is enticing to a guy who wants to get on the field and feels like they can possibly make an immediate impact on a team, knowing that you'll get early playing time, or at least a shot at early playing time. So I'm very, very much excited about the future of Coach Hugh Jackson and about the future of the Grambling State Tigers program. I think they are building something special, something that's going to be able to compete with the Southerns in recruiting, in on the field, with the FAMUs, with the Jackson States, and with some of the upper echelon teams in the SWAC, in and all of HBCU football. Grambling still, to this day, as of now, we ain't the end of 2022 yet, but as of now, they're still the only SWAC school to win the Celebration Bowl in 6 attempts. Let's see how long they'll be able to hold on to that, and let's see when they'll be able to bring another Celebration Bowl title down to Grambling, Louisiana. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. The G-Men, Grambling, they're looking good, y'all. They're heating up at the right time. National Signing Day is just a few weeks away. Early signing day. We know how Grambling did on signing day last year. With these wins racking up at the end of the year, if you can get a win streak going into the Bayou Classic, we could see some guys, whether it's via the portal or high school kids, pull the trigger and take a chance on Grambling. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube. You can follow me on social media at JLightsy7 on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff right there at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out, and I will see you next time. Peace.